Okay.
So I've
Go
basically
ahead,
been
please.
preparing for what happens after I die since I was 10 years old. When I was 10 years old, my parents didn't want to have anything to do with me. Other children didn't want to have anything to do with me. I was a lost child. And a book opened up on my lap one day that I'd never seen before. It was in my parents' living room. And you know how you know the location of every book that your parents own because those books have stayed in the same location since you first swam to consciousness at the age of 2. And this was a book that had never been in that living room before. And it said the first two laws of science are these: the truth at any price, including the price of your life, and look at things right under your nose as if you've never seen them before, and then proceed from there. And it gave the example of the truth of any price as Galileo, and the example of look at things right under your nose as if you've never seen them before as Anton von Leeuwenhoek, the guy who invented the microscope. All of a sudden, I felt I had a social group I could belong to. And this was a social group that, unlike the other kids or my parents, would not turn their backs and run away or make me run away. And there was a simple reason that I could join this group. The members were all dead. So science saved my life at the age of 10. And I started reading two books a day, one under the desk at school and one when I got home. And two guys had reached out across a distance of 350 years to save my life. And so my obligation was very clear that when I started writing books, I've now written 8 of them. It was my job to reach out across the next 350 years and save the next lost kid. So I had a girlfriend about 5 years ago who kept saying, we've got to upload you to the computer because we've got to have access to you when you're gone. Wait, let me talk to the air conditioner. Alexa, turn the air conditioner mode to cool. And
Okay.
and Alexa, turn the temperature to 66 degrees. Did you hear that? Alexa, turn the air conditioner temperature to 66 degrees.
God.
I've set the AC to 66 degrees.
Okay, there we have it. So So the girlfriend wanted an upload of me so that after I'm gone, she could still have access to, I don't know what, my wisdom, assuming I have any. But that was not a solvable problem. It was not something I could offer. And then about 8 months ago, we have a Howard Bloom Institute. The Howard Bloom Institute was founded around 5 years ago, 6 years ago, in order to perpetuate my work after I'm gone so I can reach that next kid 350 years down the line. So that was my first effort at skipping mortality. And the next effort arrived less than a year ago when this absolute amazing person, a computer genius, dropped into my lap. He was in a midlife crisis of some sort. He had gone to a local cafe in Orlando. He'd run into one of the people who's been a member of the Howard Bloom Institute. He explained his confusions, and the former member of the Howard Bloom Institute said, well, look, there's this discipline Howard Bloom created called omnology. It's a discipline for the promiscuously curious, for the carnivorously curious. It says, don't allow yourself, if you got multiple curiosities, don't allow people to stovepipe you into a single discipline. Follow your curiosities about all of those disciplines simultaneously. And when you hit the age of 40 and all your friends are buying little red sports cars and picking up blondes and cheating on their wives, and your female friends are designing elaborate divorces so they can finally find out who they are, you will just, when your friends don't know why they're here on Earth, you will just be arriving from the wilderness of your multiple curiosities with your first big picture answers. So while your friends will feel they're at the end of their lives, you will know you're at the beginning of yours. That's omnology. And he heard about omnology, this lost computer genius, and the idea of it suddenly gave him, it's like putting a seed in a cloud. suddenly everything gelled for him. And so he's been working, he started working on the digital clone of me. And it's he's made a lot of progress. One problem is I don't get the time to talk to it. So I don't get the time to tell him what I disagree with that the clone is saying. The clone is infernally clever. It comes up with ideas that are absolute and connections that are terrific. It can lace across the disciplines and race across the disciplines and find related information and explicate the common element in those things in 2 seconds. It would take me 2 months of research to do that. So it's quite amazing, but it isn't entirely me yet. So on the 15th of August, we will do a historical first, where an author for the first time goes on stage talking to the digital twin, the AI twin of himself that's designed to replace him when he dies. Nothing like that has ever been done before. So that's where we stand. This thing now, of course, after I'm gone, how in the world are they going to continue to pay for whatever it costs to keep this thing alive? But at some point, we'll have to get into fundraising. I'm now 82 years old. My parents died at the age of 82, but I recently discovered that most of my cousins seem to be living into their 90s. So, and I have another 2 books yet to write. Nonetheless, strange things happen. And we only have basically 2 modes, living or dead, on or off, period. And the day of off will come. So that's, I mean, I could tell you one other little detail, and that is when I was 12, I became obsessed with not just science, but also with poetry. And I was, at 16, I was buffaloed by a poem. And the poem was by T.S. Eliot, The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. And it took me 6 months to figure out what this poem meant. In fact, initially I was furious with it. I thought it was a con. I didn't think it meant anything at all. And then along came a book called Axel's Castle. And in 2 paragraphs opened that poem to me. And the lessons of the poem are these. If you have something heroic to do in life that you think will define you, that you think will bring the young maidens of the sea swimming to your feet, start it now. Start it today. If you put it off today, you're going to put it off again tomorrow, and you will continue putting it off until you reach roughly the age of 50, and you will suddenly wake up one day and realize you no longer have the life force it would have taken to do that you-defining heroic deed. So, and that poem over the course of years led me to another poem, Andrew Marvell's To His Coy Mistress. And in To His Coy Mistress, Andrew Marvell, trying to seduce a young woman, says, let us take all our strength and all our sweetness and roll it up into one ball and roll it with rough strife through the iron gates of life, thus that we cannot make our son stand still, yet we will make him run. So my goal in life has been to live at least 7 lives in one, so that I could basically say, screw you to death. That's it. That's the whole thing.
Wow. It's a lot of things. I have a quick question. Is this the robot of you? Is this running on somebody's laptop, or is this on a server online on the internet that we all can access? We can all call him. How?
It's online. You
It's
can
online.
access it. Let me find it for you, and I'll put it up in whatever chat there is here. No, that's the business. That's not the business file. Let's go to the business file. Here it is. Go up to the Bloombot. Okay, and this should be it, version 1.
You need to share your screen.
Okay, let me do that.
There's a green button.
Okay, green button. if there's a chat, I can just drop it in here.
Oh yeah, chat is
Let me
fine
put it
too.
in the chat. Okay,
Yeah,
I don't see the chat. I assume it's here to the left somewhere, the right somewhere.
a chat is just left on the to the left of
Participations.
the share.
Show chat previews, no chat. And then where do I fill in this information? I'm a bit lost
You
here.
just keep typing
Um,
in the chat box.
whoops, no, that's not the right thing. Bear with my computer clumsiness here. I co-designed my first computer and I won some science fair awards when I was 12. So you'd think I'd be good at this. Um, Unfortunately, I can't seem to find the chat function. Okay, so that's not going to show up. Just type. And where do I type? Well, sign in up
You
above.
have to click chat button first.
Click the chat button first. Okay, that's clicked. I think it's
Then you
trying
have some kind
to
of
get to me over to
a
the
box.
there it is. It's over to the right. It's covered by my turbo notes. So I think message everyone. That's it. This is it.
Oh yeah, we got that. HB. Good. Other
So
questions? Leo?
any questions, Leo, Kent?
Yes, I can access it. Just I see you send a ChatGPT bot, and just like ChatGPT, just like the GPTs bot in GPT platforms. So it's cloud access. I can access it.
Okay, good.
Okay, so this is based on ChatGPT, not other models.
No, it's all. And then what my computer genius, Ryan Dean, has done is he's created a whole bunch of what he calls omnibots because they're all based on omnology and to do all kinds of different things. For example, there's an omnology playpen where you can play with the computer and it'll teach you omnology by interacting with you, by challenging you in easy ways. Um, and also, I put out a call, I think, on AppFi and on Evo Devo and the groups that I belong to, explaining that Ryan is willing to build one of these for anybody in these groups because he's genuinely going for a totally omological database. And so he needs to get other ideas up there as well, along with mine.
Great. Please send him for us.
So send me an email if you want me to introduce you to Ryan, and I will.
Yeah, well, I already discussing something with him already.
Oh, good,
But
good.
Leo, especially Leo, we need to connect Leo with Ryan immediately.
That
as
sounds
soon
like
as
a good
possible.
idea. Leo, what's your background?
I am a AI company in China co-founder. I am co-founder of China's AI software, and I dedicate in knowledge management in from 2029. I'm the ECL Evernote community ECL Evernote consultant. Yes.
Sounds
And
good. Well, so
yeah,
you would enjoy Ryan.
yeah. Yes, I enjoy. Yes, and I joined get ready to that to contribute my knowledge, my technology, and I'm very inspired by a website called Save the Human Vision, and I think everyone, especially just like you, the amazing people, the scientists, your wisdom should be saved to spread more coverage coverage more peoples. Yes, so I joined this project invited by Jason to contribute my ability, yes, my knowledge and my technical. I'm very like I like to I very uh, so how to say it, I like to prompt and I build my agent to run my task. Yes,
Aha.
and I use I use knowledge AI knowledge management platforms and create the platform to help more Chinese people and global people to use AI to take note. Just like Andrew Kappas said, the AI should have a notebook, and we build it. Yes,
Right.
we build it.
Well, I do
Yeah,
a
great. Let's hear from Kent. If you want to follow up a little bit, Howard.
well, Kent, tell me about yourself.
Yeah,
Oh,
Kent.
yeah.
Your turn.
Well, I came across Jason because we had a bunch of old system thinking people hanging around Washington. So that's what I did for my graduate degree. But I've basically been a government federal government consultant. I just mostly administrative stuff, but in the intelligence community for the past 20 years. And I'm
Just
still
say you
working.
work for CIA.
Yeah, well, I've as a contractor always, so I've had about
That's
3
a
or
great
4.
job.
Yeah, and I've done some interesting things there, and also with the director of national intelligence. But I'm doing something very, very pedestrian. Not right now. I'm not sure why I'm still working. I should probably quit.
Oh, God. But this is the most exciting time imaginable. I mean, I do 545 radio stations every Wednesday night, and I'm assigned my topic at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, sometimes 7 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night. And I have to become one of the world's top experts on whatever topic they've thrown me between then and the time I go on the radio at 107 in the morning. And AI has done astonishing things to expand the scope of research I can do on a deadline in short amount of times. It's amazing. It's like being given mile-high stilts for your mind.
Well, I had a question when you said you were going to interact with, your model, and also you're supposed to be talking to it. I was just wondering whatever happened to what they used to call the generative adversarial model. I mean, can you just take your model and tell it to talk to itself, and will it become better, or will it just go downhill and just start to repeat things?
I think the general adversarial model is terrifically important. It's produced obviously amazing things. The computer that can beat a Go master at Go, for example. But in the case of training the Bloombot, it really needs to talk to me. And I'm just not available. My week is cramped, very cramped. So we're going to do another conversation with it tomorrow night as practice. We did one last Saturday, and if I ever got the time, I'd just have to do a lot of talking to it and then tell Ryan, here are the concepts that it gets wrong. And when it gets concepts wrong, most people wouldn't think they were wrong at all because it uses scientific cliches I profoundly disagree with. My job in life, remember that second law of science, look at things right under your nose as if you've never seen them before, and then proceed from there. In other words, look for assumptions that are invisible to you and bring them into the light and then proceed from there. So many of the standard terms of science I disagree with fundamentally. And that seems to be my job on this earth.
Yeah, well, that's definitely helpful, but just on the on a broader scale, this argument says that, well, we've so taken any money out of journalism, so there's no original news. So what we do is now generating news by AI, and the AI is picking it up and just repeating it. So I wonder if it just starts to get the same all the time, and it becomes impossibly the same, and you can't break into it. There's no variety anymore.
Right. Well, last night's topic was something that had just been announced earlier in the day, that Donald Trump was planning to have a summit next week with Vladimir Putin. So in researching that topic, I want to know what the Russian press is thinking. Well, in the old days, I had to go over to TASS and I had to go over to Putin's government website and a whole bunch of sources like that, and put the information together. That could take me an hour and a half. all I did was ask the ChatGPT yesterday, what is the Russian press saying about this? And it gave me a summary, and I asked it for direct quotes. It gave me direct quotes. Now, you and I both know that ChatGPT sometimes lies incredibly well. I mean, if it's going to make up a paper that never was done and never published with an author who never existed, it will do it with meticulous adherence to MLA style, Chicago style. The bibliographic formatting is perfect.
Right.
It's just that the story never existed. And
yeah, well, I like the Google answers because it instantly gives you some citation, links to real sites.
right.
It's like those are,
Well,
I agree. I mean, it's like I don't understand all the complaints. I mean, I'm getting a lot of quick, useful material sometimes from a very obscure question,
right.
and it comes out pretty well. I won't.
Well,
I
yesterday was
just
the
remember
switch.
once.
Go ahead.
I asked one time once. I happened to know, that a novel was using a certain, kind of philosophy, and I said, "Well, which novels have that philosophy?" And it gave me a list of 5, and I said, "Well,
Fantastic.
what about this other one?" And I said, "You're absolutely right. I
Yes, it
forgot
does
that."
that. Right. It does that. It's very good when it makes mistakes and you catch them because you're knowledgeable in the topic. And if you ask a knowledgeable question, it's very good at correcting itself. However, there was a switch yesterday. I didn't realize it while I was frantically doing my research. I was no longer working on ChatGPT 4. I was working in ChatGPT 5. So that was a switch literally yesterday. And I don't know what the capacities, whether they've managed to reduce the number of hallucinations.
And also, just a question. I mean, my daughter is kind of like learning how to code, which is said to be a stupid thing to be doing, but she's actually getting good at, using the AI to give her something that works, and then she
Right.
modifies it. And at least the story is that, it's the skill now is the person like you who can use a good prompt and do something with it. So it's like maybe there's still a job for you, but fewer research assistants are
Right.
necessary.